What's up guys, today I'm talking about the accuracy for the Remington 700 AAC-SD or the tactical rifle that's sitting in the Hogue aluminum pillar bedded stock. There's a lot of controversy about it on the internet. Some people love it, some people hate it. Everybody knows that it does flex and it will touch the barrel once you set it on a bipod. But is that a bad thing? Is it that hindersome? Or does it actually help accuracy? I decided to put this thing through its paces with over 200 rounds for this accuracy test, so let's see what kind of results we got. So to start the testing, I just went out and shot the thing a lot, mainly so I could get comfortable with it, and also so I could see any patterns. That way when I start shooting for exact groups, I'll be able to tell if it was me that was off or if it was the rifle. I got 4 different kinds of ammo for my initial group test. I got the PPU Soft Point 180 grain. That stuff is really cheap. I got it for $13.99 for a box of 20. And then I got the PPU M80 ball, which is still pretty cheap. And then I got the SSA by NOSLER. Sorry, that's my dog. I got the SSA by NOSLER 168 grain, and I also got a 175 grain SSA by NOSLER. I shot for groups using the CTK P3 Ultimate Shooting Rest. That way I could put it far back on the stock so it's still leaving me free floated, because everything I read online told me that was going to give me the best group possible. So I did my initial test doing that, and I started off with the PPU 180 grain soft point. And a 5-shot group landed me about 1.25 inches, measuring center to center from the farthest apart shots. And next up, I shot a 5-shot group of the PPU M80 ball. And it didn't do very well on this test. I got just a little bit under 2.5 inches. So I moved on to the better stuff, which is the SSA by NOSLER. And I started with the 175 grain, and I did a 5-shot group of that. And at 100 yards, that put me at about 1.75 inches, which isn't as good as the PPU Soft Point, which is the cheapest stuff I got. So the 168 grain SSA by NOSLER was the last one I tested. And that also got me just about 1.75 inches at 100 yards, which is not very impressive. So overall, with all the shooting I've done, I kind of already knew what was going to happen because I was getting those kind of groups all day. And that was using the CTK P3 Ultimate Bench Vise. So the next day I went out, I wanted to compare the kind of groups I would get using one kind of ammo, shooting off of the bipod, and then using the CTK bench rest. Now, I was really hoping I could get some more of that PPU Soft Point 180 grain, because that stuff grouped the best out of my testing, and even all the other days I was shooting this thing, that stuff actually performed the best the entire time. And it's probably because it was the heaviest bullet, and this is a 1 in 10 twist barrel. But unfortunately, my local Cabela's did not have any more of that stuff, and the only thing I could find was the PPU M80 ball, which is actually really common stuff that many of you guys will be able to find. So I used that stuff. It's not necessarily the best group I was going for. I wanted to see the difference in groups between going from the bench rest and the bipod. So again, with these groups, guys, you have to understand I'm only showing you a small bit of this test, but the results are indicative of what has happened throughout the entire time. So with the M80 ball, I kicked it off on the CTK bench rest, and I put a 5-shot group down at 100 yards. I got exactly 1.75 inches, so that's actually a pretty good group, and it's also better than the very first test I did with the M80 ball. So the next 5-shot group was off of the bipod this time, but the group wasn't that great. I got about 2.75 inches with the M80 ball off the bipod. What it comes down to is this rifle in this stock is affected when you use a bipod. It is what it is. I love this stock. Hogue, you guys make a really comfortable stock, especially in freezing cold weather.
Country Mash got a little bit dramatic. The weather was so bad out there that he had to interrupt his sheepdog special forces training to stop and take a selfie.
I really like this stock. It's just comfortable. It's nice. It feels good to shoot. It has a really nice squishy butt pad. I love it. But it's not for precision work. And that's kind of what I'm going for this build. So I will be upgrading this stock. If you guys want to buy this off me, hit me up in a DM over on Instagram at Country Mash. But for real, I like this stock. I'll miss it, but I do want to upgrade to something a little bit more rigid, because having a free float barrel and having a really rigid stock is really going to push this rifle to be extremely accurate. And that's what I'm going for. But anyways, that's it for that test, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys were able to use the results and the data I got for any decisions you may be making in the future. Again, this isn't a bad stock, guys. If you're a hunter or a varminter, I'm getting around 2 to 3 MOA, give or take. That's not terrible, guys. Getting sub MOA, even if you have the right rifle that could perform that, getting the shooter to perform that without locking this down in a vise, it's a lot of work. It's not easy. There's a lot of professionals on social media, Instagram, YouTube. We all watch them. They make shooting look real easy. It really isn't. So I encourage you guys, before you upgrade anything major on your rifles, just make sure you take advantage of the equipment you do have, because upgrading your skills will go a lot further than upgrading the equipment you have. So that's it for today's video, guys. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're able to get some value out of the data I got. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.